Postcard city on the edge of the map. Fingers trace the places where the stories overlap. I've been running, you've been flying, chasing dreams that never land. Let's meet in the middle, start again where we began. Pack a bag, grab the keys. We'll rewrite our memories. Catch up, let's rewind the time. Lost years don't matter when the laughter's prime. Catch up, let's hit the road. Friendship's a fire that never goes cold.
So we're here at the Space, a.k.a. the Clash Hole. We got Mike Stevens and Clash Kincaid behind me training. It's called the Clash Hole because our friend Clash Kincaid runs this building, which is what, a jam space for bands, basically?
Yes, there's recording studios as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And for a while, it was a flop house for wrestlers.
I think you should have pitched it to like MTV or something. You should have.
That actually would have been a great show.
It would have been funny. I would have watched it. Right?
And I'm joined right now by the one and only AC Fitz. Now, you have a checkered past.
What would he? Whoa!
Well, I
that's
don't
how
know.
you're going to start this? A checkered past? Come on.
I mean, I said we weren't going to talk about certain things, and I don't really want to get into
Oh, no.
the dirt. But,
Okay.
but the thing is, you had a bit of a rough start and a slow start. And then maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, I met you. And since then, I think you really...
Has it been that long? I think.
Yeah, I think so. You came on tour almost a
Where
year ago.
did we meet, Rex?
That I don't know, because you were just the Mark coming out with his camera, filming stuff, and I thought you were just some, like...
What was your first impression?
So in
Let's
England,
do that.
in England, they call them grapple gays. And they're the guys who... like.
You
see
can't
them
say
on-
that, Rex.
Yes, well,
You
I don't say it.
can't say
in
that.
England, they say it.
Who?
In grapple... You know the one...
You can't see now. Look what you've done.
That's what they say over there. You know they're all racist and homophobic.
Okay.
You know,
Yep.
the England people are awful. But
Liam Ka.
yes, they're all just awful. But you know the ones I'm talking about. They're the ones when on Facebook they try to add you and all their profile pictures them in a singlet from the tits to the dick.
Yeah.
That's
true.
That's a grapple gay. And what they try to do is buy your trunks, your autograph.
You know what?
pictures.
Okay, well, I mean, I might as well
thought
say
that's
this.
what you were.
You thought? Oh, well, you thought I was what? The one
grapple
buying
guy.
or selling?
I thought you were buying maybe. Because you weren't a wrestler, as far as I
Which
knew.
is true.
As far as I knew.
No, which actually it might have actually been a demand show then, because to be fair, and
CNE, demand, something like that.
I've told a few people this, and I think for myself, when I'm asked, like, you know, how do you get into certain positions and things like that, I always, and I think I learned a lot of this. Don't do that, Rex. We're trying to be serious here.
What kind of positions?
Positions of working and making? Well, that makes it sound even worse.
Positions where you can really pleasure the butthole.
I wasn't going to say that,
No.
but getting in the ring and working and getting opportunities. I think for me, like in that instance of I think where we met was I was following Clash around with this tripod here, taking pictures, and I would tell people I'm a photographer. I didn't know
That's what I think it
shoot
was.
about photography, but I also knew I didn't have enough skills or anything under my belt to say, hey, I'm a wrestler, give me a chance.
Yeah.
So that was my way, you know, just getting in and meeting you, the boys.
Yeah.
Not to say it's a lost art, because what the hell do I know? But I feel getting over with your peers and making a good impression goes a long way.
So before I really knew who you were, I'm just kidding about the grapple guy thing. It was more. I thought you were like
No, you're not.
No. I thought you were more like a media guy, kind of like a fan, like a big fan of the business. But then I noticed, so you were setting up the rings, you were doing all this stuff, all this legwork, and then I found out you were a wrestler. Which the whole time I was thinking, well, this guy's kind of jacked. He should try wrestling. And then I found out, oh no, he's training to be a wrestler. I was like, oh, okay, let's fucking help this guy out because he's actually doing the work. I thought you were just a dude hanging around. I didn't realize you had a trainer and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not blaming anybody for that, but that's what it was.
Yep.
And then once I found out you were working, I was like, oh shit, hey, look at this guy.
I think too, because people think I'm a lot younger, and
Yes.
I would always call you Pops.
Dude.
I remember people
Yes.
when they
I was like, oh, this kid's good.
this kid, right?
This kid's awesome.
But I think a lot of it is the work ethic. I think that is not a lost art. There's many people, that we like to call friends in this business that are like-minded, where it's someone like yourself with plenty of years of experience, willing to kind of just lend some time to someone like myself, or Clash or the boys here, like as you see in the background.
Yeah.
Just kind of dicking around and having fun and practicing, but someone like yourself who has years of experience and that to just offer it to myself, I'm forever indebted, and you put me in positions to better myself, to
Right.
to get new opportunities, to wrestle in new venues, new promotions. So I think what you do is a lost service also. You do
Well, that's
for us.
part of it's selfish too, because part of me is like, I don't know.
You are selfish, Rex.
Yeah, no,
I know.
I know. Like,
I
it's
know
not just
that.
for you. I've helped out many people, like Liam Carr, you,
Liam, yep.
Cody Blade, any of these guys but it's the ones who show that they want it and that they really are putting the work
think,
in.
yeah.
And it's, well, with Liam, sometimes. But
He might be
also,
on the
I don't have a
spectrum.
son. I have girls, right? I never made a boy. So I think
So do you think that's kind of what
a little bit, yeah. I kind of like having that mentorship with a guy. So it's kind of like, okay,
you
let me
do
help
it very
somebody.
naturally. I would say it's never
I
seemed
had a good dad,
forced.
so it helps with that, and I want to do the same thing, but it's hard to find that,
Well, because without getting into my beginning, I won't get into it, but just
don't, no.
bad mentorship and somebody leading you astray. I didn't know my ass from my face
I'm
per
not
se.
gonna talk any shit either, but like when I met you, not long after when I found out, blah blah blah, I invited you to come to the tour.
You did,
And
yeah,
That
yeah,
first
yeah.
day of tour, you were in the ring training, and I seen some things you were doing, and I was like, "How long you been training?" And you said how long you'd been training.
Wasn't
And
very long.
the
I
mis-
don't think that.
It was
either.
almost a year.
Was it?
And the way you were doing certain things, I was like, this isn't somebody who's been training a year. And I'm not blaming your trainer. I'm not blaming it. Some people are awkward. But, like, within that tour, the improvements you made in such a quick time, just
Thank
listening
you.
to people. And also, like, do you remember what I said to you when you came back for your first match with me on tour?
Were you angry?
No,
What,
no, I
what
came
version
back
of
and I
Rex
said,
was this?
Hey, forget everything you did in wrestling. That was your first match.
Yes, actually, I do. I do. Yeah.
Do you remember what I said to your last match, which also I worked with you on the last tour we did?
Powder.
No, shut up. That shit was blown up. No. The last thing I said to you on the last tour, in the last match that you did on that tour was, hey, I know you've been struggling through this and that, but I've seen the difference from the beginning of the tour to the end of the tour, and there's real improvement there. Because you and the other guy, Ryan, there, you were always with, there's a midpoint about 75% way through the tour. I was like, I don't know if we're making any progress here. But then in that last 25%, all of a sudden everything started clicking.
The
and I was
tour
like,
was-
oh
was-
shit, like he's really starting to get better now.
Yeah. The tour again. That was because of you. I wouldn't have never met the CWF. I consider them all family to me now. Like when you spend.
I take all credit for all your success.
You should.
And, no,
I'm not going to give you anything. If I ever make anything from this, I'm never going to give you anything.
Yeah.
But
And if you get signed anywhere, I'm taking 10%.
and it's now on record.
Yeah.
But I would consider you guys family and the CWF people too, because going on a 2-month tour with people is an experience. Period. But under the conditions in which a winter tour of that nature is, and then being successful at it too, like you said, for me, I definitely felt I found my groove. We are all poor, that's true, but I found my groove at the end of it, of 2 straight months of just the lifestyle of building a set and a ring, then wrestling in it, then tearing it down, packing it up, and driving all night. Rinse, repeat, I think, was one of the coolest experiences of my life, too. And as a wrestler and someone who wants to perform and things, it makes a huge difference.
I was surprised that this year that you said you wanted to come back. Because I thought you were going to be one of the guys who was like, it was cool, but
Thornton said the same to me.
I
when-
don't think I'm coming back. And to hear that you actually started getting your groove at the end and that you do want to come back for another one, that's surprising because it's probably about 1 out of like 30 workers that I meet that come on the tour that are like, want to come back. Usually,
I can see how it
sick.
breaks
Like,
people.
I would prefer the rest. If I had a heaven, if the heaven was like your fantasy, it would be just driving the winter roads and doing those ice road tours with Tony Condello and Chris Thorne. And that's I don't know what's wrong with me. That's why I like that so much. But
It's a very liberating experience, just kind of being out
there's
there.
no
and-
responsibility besides set up the ring and wrestle.
well, that's why you like it.
Yeah, it's a vacation from
That's
life.
why you like it.
It's
then.
just like, hey, do you want to just live on Ichiban noodles and set up a ring every day?
To be
and-
fair, I didn't find the way I eat
No,
wasn't
it's
too
gotten
different
better.
for
It's
me.
gotten way better. The prices are coming down a little bit, but yeah, like the lifestyle. Most people go out there and they're like, never again.
Yeah, you guys told me stories of
Yeah.
certain people. I
People
won't
can't
put
handle
you out
sleeping
there.
on a gym mat or. Sleeping in the van one night because we're stuck in the middle of the woods, 500
Or getting
miles out,
a bacteria infection when you drink water that
or
you
drinking
shouldn't
the water
have.
and having the shits for 2 weeks.
I literally pooped myself and then had to go wrestle. I think, and
Well, the
as
more
a
you do it,
man
you learn.
too,
Don't drink the water.
don't.
Yeah, spend the
I
30
would
bucks
never.
to get the case of water.
And then the craziest thing about that story was I was watching the children of the. We were in a school and I had watched people drinking. It was a fountain, and I knew
Fountains
better.
A lot of times are filtered.
But it was a filtered one.
Yeah, that's
It
what I'm
was
saying.
a filtered
The
one.
filtered fountains are usually okay.
Yeah. And
But even brushing your teeth.
I was
tap water.
told don't do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I did it, but I even asked a teacher, I assume, and I was like, "Ma'am, is this water okay to drink?" She, yeah,
See,
yeah,
we
yeah.
usually mess up with the coffee because we think, oh, it's boiled, but no, it's not actually boiled.
not
You're supposed to
boiled,
boil
it's
it
more
for
like
20 minutes or something.
warmed,
Or,
yeah.
it's just warm. It's just hot coffee. But
Yeah, so that was I got a bacteria infection, and then we got the truck stuck on a road.
we
too.
got the truck stuck on the road.
well, no, Chris Thorne.
Chris
Thorne got the
crashed the truck in a goddamn creek. Is what happened.
Yeah, and that could have been so much worse if that truck had gone.
Dude, it was
The
so
whole tour
close
would
to
have been
tipping over.
That would have been over. It would have been done there.
That would have been it.
But again, like you learn so much about myself, or I learned a lot about myself on something like that.
Did you feel more confident in like your regular indie shows when you got back from the tour?
In like what I can do, or
Yeah.
just in general,
Like just in your skill
Yeah,
level?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's the one thing I noticed with tours is that when I first started working tours where you work twice a night every night for weeks on end, you come home and all of a sudden you get in the ring and you can look at your opponent's feet and where they're feeding to and be like, oh, this guy doesn't do this 24/7. This isn't his full-time job. He does this on the weekends. And that's the one thing I noticed is your confidence isn't just like bravado. It's like your confidence is because you just do this every day.
You do it.
It's just a job.
And it's like boxing. Like we as I was never a amateur. I wouldn't even consider myself an amateur boxer. But I used to do some boxing back in the day, and the coach and we've had the conversation where it's like, just don't react. Or sorry, I want you to react and not think. And that was something I struggled with coming from boxing and trying to hurt somebody, and
Yeah.
to what we do here is different. But the performance is still.
You're getting better.
Intricate.
Your biggest problem too is you were jacked before you started wrestling. This is a
I
theory
because I
have.
came from bodybuilding, and
Yeah.
that's when I realized I had to make a change in how I train and what I do in the gym.
Yeah.
Because I had come from 3 years of competitive bodybuilding, which aesthetically is good, and I know I'm a bad wrestler.
I
so
find that all the time with guys that are in really good shape before they start wrestling, they're much more tense.
and that was my
When
problem.
they learn to wrestle, then get jacked, it's way better.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I would imagine if I had have started when I was younger and then transitioned to something later, would have been different. But it was what it was, and that's when I met my coach Alex Shelley at the time. So I learned a lot from him. Got to work with him for about 8 months, and that just opened my eyes to cool. You look good, but it's not functional. Like standing on a
Right.
stage for bodybuilding is very different than what we do in a ring, as you're seeing
Or
behind
staying
you.
loose. And,
Staying, and that was a big thing too, because when you're tense,
yeah.
you burn a lot of energy, and
Yeah.
getting gassed in that ring when you're only halfway through a match. Is
I'm never
tough.
tense in the ring, and I'm always gassed in the ring. So it's
You get no.
yeah. Most of the time,
Never.
actually, the one promoter we work for all the time, the two-a show every weekend guy.
Yeah.
He always he subtly throws jabs at me. He's like, yeah, just. Why don't these guys do more like what Rex does? He just lays around in there all the time. I'm like, you son of a bitch. That's selling, man. I'm selling. I
Well,
swear.
he doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
All
he
right.
goes out for a cigarette.
I'm going to take a quick break.
We're gonna take a break. Now?
Thank you for talking to me.
You're welcome.
Thanks
Rex.
for wait. I gotta hit the tagline here. Thanks for catching up. There it is. Okay.
Thank you so much for calling my show. The episode's over, it's time to go. Good luck, stupid, good luck, stupid. I hope everything works out. Good luck, stupid, good luck, stupid. Don't blame me when it doesn't work out. Good luck, stupid, good luck, stupid. Don't blame me when it doesn't work out.